So what a nice timing that is. I still have to adjust the overlay for a second. So this is PlanetkeyDynamics against that team, the German EPS champions against the Ukrainian squad. They just lost against 3D Max 16 to, I think it was, wait a sec. $16-4 or 16-5? 16-5. So that team still without wins today, and let's see if the Germans can take them on the CT side on dAT Nuke. Of course, that gaming on the terrorist side, and they are pushing on the outside. They have put down 2 players in secret stairs already, and World Edit is waiting for Struxy to show himself, or for anyone to push from the inside of A. But Bondik with that running past headshot onto Stavey. Clue with the refrag, but then it's World Edit on main to take out Struxy in garage, and that is now pushing the A bomb site while Flamey is covering their back. He loses the battle against Nex, and it's a 2v3 situation. The bomb just got planted, and the terrorists will capture lobby back, but it's still Clue in radio room working with a CZ75. Got himself 2 frags, but Prizrak with a Glock takes him out with a nice headshot, and that team win the pissed round on the terrorist side. Let's see if they can carry on with that. Of course, the second round is quite important on Nuke as well, because the CTs can still overcome the terrorists rather easily, and that's the reason why that goes for 3 AKs and 2 Galils, just to be sure to really win that round. They don't want to go for some weird buys, and they just don't want to risk anything. So quickly changing the mix setup as well, and the terrorists are just capturing the outside right now. Everybody is checking out the obvious corners, and the CTs are pushing forward into radio room. As you can see, Stavey already checks that out with his shotgun in hand. The CT is gathering the information, and now they are adjusting their positions to the terrorists. But unluckily for the CTs, the terrorists are not going down. Now Troubley spots them pushing up onto the door. He peeks out, and Prizrak dings him with the AK. Stavros now trying to support his teammate, but that shotgun won't do any damage in this sort of scenario. Shooting into heaven, and that just storms into the A bomb site. They lose 2 players in the process, but that's not really too much cash damage dealt for them. PlanetkeyDynamics not able to win the second round, and now they are back to full saving. No shotguns, no CZ75s for them. It should be a rather easy round for that team. Let's see if they can overcome the Germans. First frag to Flamey from the outside into heaven. Prizrak being ambushed there, but Struxy falls down to his AK as well. As the terrorists make their way forward through the outside, it's the exact same round they played before. But this time the CTs don't spot them, pushing themselves up. Chloe, Troubley and Nex. Nex will be the one that spots the terrorist, and he might get a cheeky kill into the back. And there he goes, he gets a bomb as well, but then drops to the feet of Flamey, who gets an easy frag with the AK. Still at least a frag on the board for the CTs. Klug with another one onto Prizrak in hell, and he spotted one on the upper ladder. Gets a headshot. Bondik and Flamey now in a 2v2, but in a second they make it a win for their team. Kind of weirdly enough, the terrorists lose 3 players in this round, where the CTs have a complete save. And in the second round, when PlanetkeyDynamics decided to buy a shotgun and a CZ-75, they only lost 2. But now that PlanetkeyDynamics have the first weapon round of the match. No AWP for them, but they don't have the money, as you can see yourself. Clue has the most money with 450 bucks. That's certainly not enough to buy an AWP. On the other side, we have World Edit picking it up for that team. And he looks for the early frag on the outside, but the CT is playing rather intelligent, not putting any player in danger. I mean, they could figure out that the terrorists probably buy an AWP in the 4th round. So that's why they stick to the inner positions and don't reveal their positions right now. And that team slowly but surely creeping forward into ramp room, and they put down 2 players in secret. It will be probably a lower bomb site execution. Let's see if PlanetkeyDynamics will be able to rotate a player. Clue with the first frag onto Flamey, but then gets taken out by World Edit. Unluckily, couldn't see that frag. Probably though on secret stairs, working his magic with the M4A1. He drops the bomb as well. Stavey with a headshot onto World Edit at the same moment, and it's a 3v1, temporarily 3v4 even. But Bondik pulled it back, and now he met his master. Next takes him out with the headshot. PlanetkeyDynamics finally on the board. 3-1 the scoreline, and let's take a look at the scoreboards. Clue with 6 frags, 4 for Nex. On the other side we have Bondik with 6 and Prizrak with 5. And that team with the instant save round. Hellraisers probably would have bought weapons, so did would have Na'Vi. But I think we have the first Ukrainian squad in the world that actually saves when they could put 2 AKs in their lineup. I think it's still the reasonable decision to make, because they will probably be able to fully buy next round, as we see Stavros taking out World Edit with a shot in the crotch. And Stavros with a second of the round received the headshot though, and he's down to 21 HP. Now they try to catch him off guard, and he pushes outside even though he's got 21 HP. He goes down to Blade. Troubly from above though shuts down the outside push with his M4A1, and next gets out of main to close the terrorists out. PlanetkeyDynamics have no problem against that P250 save round by that team. And as I said, the terrorists with a full buy once again. This time they spare themselves the AWP. So they will probably not push on the outside, as we see Strux with the first scope for the CTs. And he takes it into radio room even. Going for the very aggressive peek. He even pushes further. But there's nobody available for him to shoot. The terrorists stick to the inside. They're not pushing ramp room. And they're just waiting to execute their strategy as well. Edit now sees Strux, puts him down to 24 HP. Strux not able to collect the shot. And the frag, of course. Now PlanetkeyDynamics with the rotation. While that team is working on the outside and slowly but surely capturing ramp room as well. They try to attack on basically every angle that they can. Actually now under pressure, he's being pushed by 3 players, but Stavros already moving in. He catches one off guard and puts him down. Flamey goes down. Strux with the AWP onto World Edit as well, and Klee successfully pushed into the lower bomb site, trying to go as far out of the way of the terrorists as possible so his teammates can rotate in time. And he successfully did that. Oh my god, Stavros almost Davey almost killing his teammate in vents there. Prizrak still on the outside with 23 P. He's got only 10 seconds left. Nice reaction shot onto next, but he needs to collect the bomb and put it down in just 6 seconds. That's impossible. And Stavros, aka Stavy, takes the last kill to make it 3-3. PlanetkeyDynamics successfully turning the momentum around on the CT side, as you would expect, of course. They are supposed to win that half, and I think they will probably go for a 10-5, considering they have lost the pistol round. Maybe, if it works out, even 11-4. But it all depends on the game of that, if they are able to execute nicely on the upper bomb side, or if they can get some cheeky rotations in to fool the CTs. Let's just stick with that echo round. The terrorist just waiting for the CTs to make a mistake, but there's not much happening on the CT side. Everybody stays stationary, and the terrorists are not doing too much of drawing the attention from any player. Now they execute their inner strategy. It's Stavros to get the first frag, but one slipped through his fingers onto the lower bomb side. Heads up play by Stavros to push after him and not allowing the plan to happen. Even though that team had this worked out quite nicely, they managed to put that player down onto the lower bomb side, and he almost got the bomb planted. That would have been a great feat for the terrorists, at least economical wise, even though they probably wouldn't have won the round. But it's all about the money, as you probably know from your own real life. Money is the most important thing. It's the same in CS, and that team is rich enough to buy an AWP for World Edit, but once again the CTs not showing themselves. It seems like World Edit is cursed. Whenever he picks up the scope, the CTs don't have an AWP player on their side. And whenever the CTs buy an AWP, he can't afford the green, the big green weapon. And so he's left pushing with his teammates, and that's very, very uncomfortable for an AWP player to go. Well, for some people like Kenny S, for example, it's very nice to go in as the first guy, but on Nuke it's very hard to check all the angles with your scope. That's why he stays on the outside and just covers the back, waits for some bad rotations by the CTs while his teammate make it work on the lower bomb side. They have pushed into vents, and now they are trying to flush one of the CTs out, but the flaming Mo puts down Stavros. Prizrak finish him off with the AK. Then they go upside on the vents to hit the upper bomb side. Very nice play by that team. Unluckily, they have lost 3 players already, and it's Clue in lobby to take down Flamey and Bondik at the same time. Well, it was a nice strategy by that to actually attack the upper bomb side from below, but unluckily they had Stavros receiving them on top of HUD. He just needed to pull the trigger on the vent and just got easy 2 frags, and then it was Clue to deny the plant as well as he was pushing into lobby. Unlucky play for that, but maybe this sort of strategy will be utilized in one of the upcoming rounds. But just a little bit worked over, you know, the timing a little bit more sharpened and all that. Maybe it could work out. And they're going for the 4th spy. That team already lost 4 players, Prizak being the only one alive. Stavros in a USPS battle with him, and he gets a frag, no problem for PlanetkeyDynamics. That team with a very straightforward A attack. And as we have seen so many times, the terrorist teams can't even put down the bomb in those head-on attacks. The CTs are all over the place before the bomb planter can even pull through. So I think the straight A go needs to be very nicely timed to actually work out for the terrorist team. And you need to hit the flashes. As soon as you've got one CT inside the bomb site that actually isn't flashed, you're probably, or you almost drop that as a terrorist team. It's so easy to spray you down from any of the positions. And the Ukrainian squad, obviously with another save round after losing that force buy. Stavros pushes out into lobby, a very risky move. If he had lost that battle against those three terrorists that were waiting for him, they would have had an AK in their hands. But well headed through the smoke, gets the plant on the lower bomb site. Great play to dodge all the bullets, but now he gets caught by Nex. Flamey and Prizak still alive, but the CT is already on the defuse. PlanetkeyD is covering nicely, and Flamey stays alive with a P250. He obviously didn't want to save it, but it would have been no point in pushing in through that smoke into a whole squad of CTs that are waiting for you on the lower bomb site. He might have and like that team go down 7-3. And the first AWP battle ahead of us. Well edit finally meeting up another scoper. And Strux in a nice position to take him out. But well edit kind of reads his moves already. Strux can't push further. The railing is over right there. So well edit probably won't see him. And now Strux gets flashed and smoked off, forced away from his position. The outer execution by the terrorists. They push every player down. It's only one player hanging out in lobby. And he's just waiting for the CTs to make an early move in ramp. And get a backside rotation. Well added, and Troubly trading kills. Bondik gets the better of Troubly in the end. Makes it a 4v3 again. And the terrorists are now stuck in front of the lower bomb site. Bondik tries to clean out the vents for his teammates to move in with the bomb and plant it. But the terrorists have still 30 seconds on the clock. It's still a lot of time to work with. And they're just waiting for the CTs to make a bad move. Next now tries to peek on the outside. Just barely gets away with his life. Now puts down well edit, and he can turn around the round as well. Next with a double kill. Now gets taken out by Bondik, and it's a 2v2 situation. Next pulled it back for PlanetkeyDynamics. But Flamey with a nice covering on his teammate to put down the bomb. Takes out Clue, and now he's going down against Stavros. It's a 1v1. Bondik and Stavros going head to head, and Stavros is caught with a nade in his hand. Bondik wins that very important round for that team to make it 7-4. And finally the Ukrainians back on the board after giving away 7 rounds in a row. They came alive again. And it was that kind of re-rotation that made it work for them. Even though they lost 2 players on the entry on the A-bomb side against Nex, it still worked out for them nicely. They were on the lower bomb side already. They were thinking what to do now. They were kind of stalled in the secret stairs, and they had 1 player still in ramp room, or rather radio room. And then they rethought, they repositioned, and that nice move awarded them with the 4th terrorist round. Obviously a nice scoreline already. If they manage to make it a 5-10 scoreline, it would be amazing for them. But as you could see on 3D Max against that team, an 11-4 scoreline is almost game over for the terrorist side. And the first firefights being exchanged. Now Clue goes down to well edit in radio room. He only managed to kill one of the terrorists that were advancing, but it's Troubly to reinforce ramp room, and he gets a double kill onto World Edit and Prizrak. In the meantime, Bondik took out Struxy, but it's a 3v1, and Bondik is left on the outside without the bomb. The CTs must have spotted the bomb, and he's just trying to get a cheeky kill out there. He's only got 20 seconds left on the clock. And I think there's no real point in trying to really do something. Bondik now kind of lost in hell, quickly turning around, and then he lost the battle. PlanetkeyD make it 8-4. And that team once again saving their weapons, saving their money for the next round. Let's take a look at the scoreboard. It's Next with 14 frags, Clue with 13. On the other side we have 10 and 9 for Bondik and Prizrak. And a P250 saved by the terrorists. They go for an outside boost. And it's troubly to take down Prizrak already. That being decimated to only 4 players. Blade with a desperate move on the outside, but then goes down to Stavros. Strucks with the next frag onto Bondik. And it's Flamey left alone for the terrorists. He gets taken out by a nade by Nex. A nice timed nade onto the last terrorist. 9-4. And these 2 last rounds will determine if we will have a really close scoreline or if it's gonna be an 11-4. And I think it's all up to World Edit with his AWP to finally hit some shots. I mean, it wasn't that he's lacking the skill, but the CTs just stayed away from him. They didn't really show themselves to the scope, and if you've got nothing to shoot, you can't really hit anything. But I think this time there will be a CT peeking out. Unluckily, World Edit turns around into secret stairs. There will be the peek. Oh, but he pulls out his knife just in time for Troubly to get away with his life. Obviously, you can see it on the X-ray. Troubly now taking his feet in the hands and running away, fearing that AWP on the outside. That team realized that the CTs are kind of chased away by the big green gun, and now they are trying to capitalize on the movement. They smoking up the outside. Stavros with the first frag onto Blade. But the terrorists have captured secret stairs and they are pushing outside. World Edit finally with the frag onto Struxy. Bondik opens up the lower bomb site with a frag onto Stavros. Next comes back though onto Prizrak and makes it a 3v3 again. Planet Key stays alive in the round despite the great effort by World Edit and Bondik. And the terrorists are once again stalled on the outside. They're very far away from each other. Flamey now pushes forward, gets a frag onto Clay, opens up the B-bomb site completely for the terrorists to push through. But Nex and Troubly are coming from the back, and I don't think the terrorists are necessarily anticipating that. Nex with a frag onto Bondik, and Troubly gets refragged by World Edit. It's a 2v1 situation. Next pushes in and he's got both players lined up perfectly, but Flamey still comes out on top with 26 HP. dAT Gaming make it 9-5 and just get through with that round. It was really close for them. Next almost got the double spray down. They just bunched up like lemmings. And dAT Gaming win their 5th round. Just by that slither, and now Troubly with an auto scope for the CT side. Let's see where he is going to go. And it will be ramp room. No, he actually goes to heaven and then he will check out catwalk. The terrorists once again working on the outside, trying to gain positioning on the CTs. And this might be the time to shine for Troubly. If he's not going to be smoked off. And there comes the smoke. He's forced away. And the terrorists are just taking their time now on the outside push. Probably already unload some few shots into the smoke. Not collecting any hits. The terrorists push through uncontested. While Troubly is reloading. There's not much he could do against that smoke. But the terrorists now need to work out where the CTs are, and in fact I think it's probably on the lower bomb side. He's alone inside, and I think he doesn't have the best position, but it is a real off angle. The terrorists probably won't really check that at the start of the push. If he gets lucky, he might make it work. At first, Next takes out Prizrak while the bomb gets planted. It's a 5v4 retake the situation in favor of the CTs. Clue with an amazing frag onto Bondik and a double to follow it up onto World Edit. The bomb gets defused already, but Blade is still alive and he gets the planter, the diffuser. And now it's a 3v1. They know where he's at, but he gets another frag onto Clue. Now it's a 2v1. Blade stepping it up for that team with 2 frags in this round, and he keeps it alive. He gets a frag onto Stavros as well. Now goes down to Strux, and he just comes in time. I think it will work out for Struxy, and he defuses the bomb. Blade with a 3k almost won the round for dAT Gaming, and Strux with that lucky defuse in the last second makes it 10-5, and we see 20 frags for Nex in the first half, 14 and 15 for Stavros and Clue. On the other side we have Bondik with 11, Prizrak with 9. And the unlucky AWP player World Edit with only 6 frags, but there's not much that he could do about that. But we are in the second half here in the Game Show League. Brought to you by Game Agents TV and Boo. Of course, we are watching PlanetkeyDynamics and dAT Gaming taking it on. And as I speak, PlanetkeyDynamics with that A bomb site rush go down like a burning plane. 3 players alive for the CTs, and it was all over in a few seconds. That pistol was really convincing by dAT. Now it's PlanetkeyDynamics' time to come back onto the CTs. They have lost both pistols, and as you all know, if you win both pistols, the chances to win the whole match are amazingly high. And of course, it gets into the terrorists' mind as well. They know that they are now in a position to make it happen for them. They can't really wait for the mistakes of the CTs. They are on the harder side, and they need to work, and they need to make it happen for themselves. Now it's a 3v3. They got themselves 2 nice frags, and World Edit is down to 3 HP as well, while the terrorists are still sitting at full, despite Nex, who is down to 43. And he should pass that M4A1 to one of his teammates. Let's see what they are doing. They're pushing the lower bomb site. I think Nex should plant the bomb, and one of the other players should try to cover him as Stavros takes down Bondik on the upper bomb site. It's a 2v3. PlanetkeyDynamics could swing the momentum around into their favor if they win that round. Blade still alive, the man of the last round, or almost the man of the last round, takes out Nex in window. But he's down to 50 HP. Strux and Stavros still alive. They've got 30 seconds on the clock. And they're now pushing the lower bomb site. Blade is still alive in there. Stavros has some trouble taking him out, but finally gets a frag. He's down to 5 HP and now needs to hurry to plant the bomb. Well, that it's still lurking around, and he gets a frag onto Strux and finishes off Stavros as well, just as he planted the bomb. Unlucky round for PlanetkeyDynamics, but well added with superb timing. And I guess some luck as well, but he's got himself the 3k in that round and kept dAT Gaming alive in the second half. (10-7) now. The Germans need to step it up, but it's not this round, but rather the next round that they need to think of something special, as they are saving. They have 4 P250s and 1 CZ75. On the other side, we have an AWP. And Stavros with the first frag onto Blade on the outside. World Edit just waits for the terrorists to show themselves. Finally, he sees one and easily takes him out. Makes it look very swiftly. And next, Strux and Clue for PlanetkeyDynamics, putting themselves together. Clue is pushing into the upper bomb side, it looks like, but he's just pulling back to wait for his teammate, and they will hit it from Squeaky and from Hut at the same time. And the CTs are waiting for them. One on top of Hut. They should have heard him. But Well Edit in heaven takes down Nex. Now Strux nicely playing around with Bondik, now picking up the weapon as well. And he's probably trying to accomplish his teammate. Well Edit with big problems, and he gets punished for that by Struxy. Prizrak though pushing in, and Flamey finishes it off with his FAMAS. But well at it with the pistol, like, you know, there's a German saying he's got a steering wheel instead of his mouse, and that's what it looked like for a second. He's lucky to have his two teammates to step up and have it have the scoreline at 10-8 in the first buy round for the terrorists. Now no AWP in their hands, even though they might have purchased one for Stavros if they had some, if they didn't buy some nades. But he decided to go for the 5 AK setup and probably will hit the lower bomb site. As well at it, smokes himself off. Now let's see. And he's standing in front of that smoke and he draws the terrorists in, gets the frag off onto next. Cheeky play by well at it to actually bait himself and use the smoke to his advantage. Now he's able to pull back through the smoke and has some time to reposition. Cheeky kill by him to make it a 4v5 situation in favor of his team. Stavros now pushes out with that flashes. Nice flashes by his teammates. He gets the opening frag, but Flamey replies with the frag onto Stavros. Now Clue with one onto Flamey. Gets refragged though by well added from above. And it's Struxy against 3 CTs. And he's stuck in the upper bomb site. He gets a frag onto Bondik. Now needs to work against 2. Well, and it's still there with his AWP. He misses a crucial shot. Struxy gets a frag onto Prezrak and takes out well at it as well. Great time to step it up for PlanetkeyDynamics in the first weapon round of the second half. Strux makes it happen in a 3v1 situation. And well at it with that massive miss with the AWP. Oh my god, they are trading rounds back and forth. And the economy now swings in favor of the terrorists. They are up against that full save, or almost full save. Only one P250 and one CSAT 75 in the hands of Bondik and World Edit. On the other side we have Troubly with a Galil. But the rest of the terrorists fully bought up. And they now need to watch out. They can't run into a stack or a trap. And Clue on top of the roof gets the frag onto World Edit, watches the back of his teammates nicely and gets the shot into Flamey's feet as well to make it a 3v5 situation just a few seconds into the round. Now PlanetKey repositions themselves, they're pushing lobby and they get another frag onto Bondik. It looks like they are just gonna take that round without real opposition. Now Troubly gets ambushed from below, still gets a headshot. Great reaction by him. He's down to 3 HP. Prizrak with a perfect chance to upset one of the terrorists there. It's Strux with the same situation, down to 10 HP, but still manages to get the frag. And PlanetkeyDynamics now at a 12-8 scoreline. It looks not as close as it actually is. And I can tell you why, as you know, that team won both pistol rounds and they just gave away the first weapon round and the following save. Still a lot of time for the CTs to come back. And actually, PlanetkeyDynamics with 2 rounds on the board, their counterparts had 5. So there's still a few rounds for them to go until they can call themselves in the better position. Now dAT Gaming loses the first player already. Prizrak is down. And this is obviously making it very hard for the CTs to actually rotate and adjust themselves to not have any holes in their lineup. Like for example, the terrorists could sneak through secret stairs or get into ramp room without the CTs noticing or something like that if you're down a man. But Blade is now equalizing the player count with a cheeky frag in lobby. PlanetKey now needs to step it up a little bit. They need to be faster now as they're trying to capture ramp room. World Edit with that slither of that gap onto Clue makes it a 3v4 and the momentum completely swung around. Now Strux able to... Oh, he's not able to get the frag even though it was a free frag. The CT didn't notice and he didn't know where he's being shot from. And now it's a 2. for the terrorists with a frag onto next. It's Troubly on the outside, still trying to find a second frag. And the time runs out. He's not able to do that. And he's just trying to get himself to the weapon to save it. But it's not gonna happen. He's staying with his Galil for the next round. 12-9. The CTs back on the board after trading 2 rounds back to the terrorists. It's just a 3-round game and it can happen so fast on the nuke. The terrorists with the last effort before they need to save again. They need to make it count. Maybe they could work on Prizrak, but World Edit is the first one to take out Troubly as he was preparing to nade Prizrak. The AWP kind of helicoptering above his teammates to save them from any approaching terrorists. And the all-important first frag, of course, in favor of the CTs. Makes it so much easier. World Edit now all over the map, taking out Clue in ramp room after he got the first frag on the outside. PlanetkeyDynamics finds it hard to adjust to the AWP play of World Edit at the moment. Now Prizrak just hopping up and down to gather information. He won't get the frag, but he will see if the terrorists will approach him. And as soon as that happens, he can pull back. He can flash himself out and call for the rotation. Stavros now finally gets rid of that one-shot killing machine that World Edit proved to be in this round. And draws it back to a 3v4, but the CTs heard the terrorists approaching the lower bomb site and they are just waiting for them to go in there. Stavros now smokes it up, but 2 CTs already waiting. Flamey with a frag onto Stavros, next with a refrag, but Blade is still there in window room, takes out next. The one plant can't go through. Blade is there with a double kill. And it's 10-12 in a second. The terrorists were demolished by the CTs in the lower bomb site. There was really nothing or not too much they could do. The smoke wasn't perfectly placed as well, so that was why Nex wasn't able to put down the bomb. And well, it was Blade all over the place again in the lower bomb site. Now the terrorists with a save again. And I will show you the scoreboard real quick. 16 and 15 for World Edit and Bondik. World Edit with 10 frags in this round already, as we see Flamey spraying down the terrorists with a 2k already. Now they keep pushing him and he gets another frag onto Stavros. The rest of the PlanetkeyDynamics squad though is rotating towards the outside and they're trying their luck on the garage player that is World Edit, and he has the AWP in hands. They tried to kind of clamp them in, but Prizrak is there to save his AWP player's life. As World Edit did the same for him, Prizrak is now returning the favor. And next with 25 frags, Stavros with 19 on PlanetkeyD. World Edit with 10 frags in this half. That's quite a big number already. And now dAT Gaming with a chance to actually draw the game on a 12-12 scoreline. PlanetkeyDynamics with another weapon round, and it will be one of the most important rounds of that matchup. If they manage to win it, they have the chance of forcing the CTs to save if they could string together 2 rounds. And if they lose it, they will probably be saving once again, considering their loser bonus isn't that high. And dAT Gaming could potentially gain the first lead of the match with a the second lead after they won the first piss round. So they could make it 13-12 if they win this one. And well, that it makes it look good. Oh my god, as my CS stops working. What the hell, what a nice timing to have that. Close the freaking program. It was too much action for my CS. It actually decided, oh my god, this is too close. I can't stand it anymore. I'm loading the game up at the moment, as you can see yourself. And I need to hide the game for a second. Give me a sec. So you can't see the IP. Obviously, we are not allowed to give you the GoTV IP. But I'm back in the game. And we are switching back to it. So sorry for Steam, sorry for Volvo. I can't do anything about it breaking down. And dAT Gaming won that round and made it 12-12. Complain at gabenewell@gmail.com. My game just stopped working. You know, it happens to casters as well. And it was obviously the worst timing to have. But maybe this will prove to be the closest game of the evening, with World Edit opening it up onto Troubley on the outside again. Turning the momentum into the CT side already. And the Germans pushing into the upper bomb site. Blade and Prizrak combine with two frags onto Nex and Clue. And Stavros somehow slipped through the fingers of the CTs. He plants the bomb and he takes out World Edit as well. Great effort by Stavros with 2 frags in the round and the bomb plant. And once again, sorry for that major breakdown of my game. Steam.exe stopped working and I couldn't do anything. But dAT Gaming obviously did something to the Germans. They won 2 rounds. 2 very important rounds as well, and made it 13-12. Now it's PlanetkeyDynamics time to come back into the game. With possibly... well, not possibly. With one of the last weapon rounds. Obviously the loser bonus kicks in soon, so they will force it up. But they don't have too many rounds to spare. As the CTs are just 3 rounds away of winning that game in the GameShow League after they have lost 16-5 against 3D Max on DE Nuke. dAT Gaming now shows what they are made of with a 13-12 scoreline against PlanetkeyDynamics, the German EPS champions, in some sort of a swing, some sort of big trouble here in the GameShow League in their first game. But they are not dead yet, they are not out yet. They still can make it work. 40 seconds on the clock, the terrorists still haven't made a move. The CTs have pulled themselves together. World Edit and Flaming covering ramp room, Plate pushed into HUD. But now he's pulling back. Now he flashes out and he sprays down Stavros. Nice flash by his teammate to help him. And the CTs flash the terrorists completely on that advance. Next with the only refrag, but it's a 2v4 situation. PlanetkeyDynamics lost in the upper bomb site, being shot down by Bondik with 4 frags. He's just raining above him like an eagle. Shooting bullets from above. Iron rain. And PlanetkeyDynamics go down like flies. 14-12. The Germans really need to win a few rounds. And I'm not joking. They're about to lose that game. World Edit with the AWP once again. He's shown that he is perfectly able to collect those frags. With 14 frags in the second half already. He is maybe the game changer for dAT Gaming. The CTs with an aggressive push into radio room. At the same time, Blade with a cheeky window position. He's firing away, not collecting the frag though. Stavros still alive with 12. He's the first one to go in, trying to carry the bomb into vents. But he fails in doing so. Troubley gets caught on the vent as well. He's not getting in there. And it all falls apart for PlanetkeyDynamics. Strux and Klee though pull themselves together and make it a 2v2 with 2 frags of Strux and 1 of Klee. It's just amazing to see PlanetkeyDynamics still able to get it back to a 2v2 situation. World Edit with 24 HP. And he's on the lower bomb site covering the bomb. So is Prizrak in vents. And Stavros and Klee will probably... well, they should think of the possibility that both CTs cover the bomb. Let's see what the terrorists are doing to actually get themselves out of that really hard position they got themselves into. Now one is pushing through lower bomb site. Clue is just going down into vents and he shoots Rizrak in the face and gets a frag onto World Edit as well. 3 frags for him in the end, and in a sliver of a second he turned that round into PlanetkeyDynamics' favor. 13-14. dAT Gaming couldn't capitalize on that very bad position that the terrorists got themselves into, with that bomb being dropped in vents and Nex and Troubly failing on the vent go. Especially Troubly, who was trying to get in there, but it seems like he was a little bit too big to fit through the vent. And that's why he got shot at from above, taken out easily. Luckily for PlanetkeyDynamics, they have Strux and Clue to step it up when it matters the most. dAT Gaming now in another buy round, and they are probably... Whoa, they are running out of money. So this might be the round for PlanetkeyDynamics to finally gain momentum and make it 14-14 and maybe even 15-14 and reach the match point. But on the other side, it's dAT Gaming's time as well. If they could win that round, and Troubly saving his teammates back there with that AK. Stavros down to 6 HP, but Prizrak went down just in time to keep the terrorists alive. Now that flash really stalled the terrorist push. Flamey with the refrag on Ramp Room, drawing it back to a 4v4 situation. Now Clue still on Ramp Room, taking out Flamey, while World Edit goes to work onto Troubly. It's Stavros with her 6 HP, taking out Blade, and World Edit now with the pistol, almost taking out 2, but then goes down to Strux, but he's down to 26 HP. Bondik with that cheeky push onto the outside, takes out Stavros, and he now pushed into the lower bomb site. Strux with 26 HP against a fully HP and fully equipped Bondik, who is lurking on the outside like a white shark. He's closing in as Strux plants the bomb. Bondik will come from above. And he gave away his position and draws the timeout. Great play by Bondik to just fake that he would go in to get the frag, and Strux needed to abort the plant to avoid being killed by Bondik. So that's how you play CS. You don't need to get the frag. You can even fool your enemy into giving away that round by just pretending to be close enough to kill him. That was enough to scare Struxy out. And PlanetkeyDynamics can't win that important round, make it 13-15. dAT Gaming on the match point, and they have 2 rounds to actually close that game out. The terrorists with a force buy, 2 AKs in their lineup, next with a CZ-75. And nothing happening at the moment. The terrorists just positioning themselves in radio room and on the outside. Troubly already pushed all the way through. Stavros takes out Prizrak, and Troubly is in window room. This is a great position. If the terrorists could force a bad move by the CTs, Troubly would get an easy frag with his steal. And they still don't know that Troubly is down there. And he can't reveal his position to the CTs right now. He needs to keep sneaking and see if he can get that frag off. As World Edit makes it a 4v4 again with that AWP. He's really wrecking house right now. But Troubly comes in from the vents. The CTs are not looking at him. Now that he joins his teammates in the push, and he gets a nice deagle shot off. Another one onto Blade, but Blade takes down 2 of his teammates. Now it's a 2v2 again, thanks to Strux. And the dream team of Clue and Strux once again alive in this crucial position for PlanetkeyDynamics. Will they either win that round or allow dAT Gaming to actually win it? Strux with that important frag onto World Edit, and he can retreat with those 9 HP. He makes it out of there alive. Flamey on main. Strux in squeaky, and Clue is behind the bomb site in a very off position. He pushes around and he gets a frag onto Flamey to make it 14-15. That is denied that first game point, and it's a final round of that matchup. We will have an overtime if PlanetkeyDynamics make it 15-15. And if dAT Gaming will close it out, we will have PlanetkeyDynamics taking on 3D Max in the next match. So please don't spoil the result. It's gonna get you silenced, so please, mods, just time out everybody. As we take a look at the scoreboard, it's 23 for World at 24 for Bondik. On the other side, we have Clue with 25 and Next with 26. So all the players showing themselves on the server. Nobody is lacking too many frags. And the CTs with that 4 spy, 2 CZ75s, 1 FAMAS in the hands of Blade. And the terrorists are running down the time. Blade with a nice position in vents. He's probably not going to be expected over there. And the door gets blown off. Stavros just avoids that nade as Prismark pushes in with that CZ75. He gets a frag onto Stavros, but the terrorists actually push Ram Broom. He Clue with the opening frag onto Flamey. It's a 4v4 thanks to Troubly. It's a 4v3. PlanetkeyDynamics look good in this round. Clue not getting the frag onto Blade as well, that it takes out Troubly. It's a 3v3. Clue down to 4 HP. Next down to 21. Well at it, and Bondik take out Strux. And next it's Clue standing alone against 3. He takes out the first one. Blade and World at it still alive, but he's down to 4 HP and they know where he's at. He dropped and made those crucial steps. dAT Gaming about to win that game. 8 seconds on the clock. Blade is firing away. Clue with a cheeky frag onto Welded, but he needs to plan and he won't make it in time anymore. The CTs win the game 16-14. And what a showdown that was. Clue in that 3v1 situation, almost clutching it. But Blade once again with that heads up play, fooling his teammates and winning it for dAT Gaming. Nuke proves to be one of the most exciting matches in the later stages of the game. And I hope you stay with me. I hope you enjoyed the show so far. We will have PlanetkeyDynamics in their next match against 3D Max. So stay tuned and follow. Of course, we will see more of the GameShow League tonight. It is Boo from Germany casting for Game Agents TV. And if you follow, you will have the